Dude, okay, so like, I still think that we should try to get fucking National Geographic to sponsor us, bro. Like, imagine how much we could fucking make. Just be like, we're the highlights. Welcome to the highlights, everybody. I'm just gonna turn it down a little bit because it's right next to my. There we go. But like, dude, imagine the National Geographic fucking coming out of nowhere and being like, yo, don't worry, we can sponsor you. Dude, so for anybody who's watching the video format, the Big Dipper is right over there. Say hello, Dipper.
Hello, it's me, Big Dipper.
Fuck you, I'm not paying alimony, Earth, you whore.
Yo, what do you think stars think of?
Bro, I feel like stars would just kind of like come out of nowhere and be like, I want to check in on those fucking things that I put down there a little bit ago. When I like, you know, during the big boom.
Like, think about it. If we're like this small and we already have consciousness, what do you think like a larger consciousness would think like?
Okay, that's actually a good one, because like, are we talking like carbon-based life form, or are we talking silicone-based life form?
Like plasma-based life forms.
Now, see, that would be hard to do, because if we're going under the assumption that plasma would have, well, there are different states of plasma, no?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Like matter is a state of.
Yeah, because I was thinking for a second neurons, because you'd have to have some sort of plasma-based, like, energy system that could transfer it between it, but yeah, that makes sense too.
What if everything is like alive, technically speaking? Because like if everything's.
I mean, there's like power, like not power, like, you know. Sorry to whatever viewer just fucking collapsed. But like, if you're looking at it from a form of like energy, like how some monks for like a while they were saying like, oh yeah, everything flows with life. Oh, did I not? Oh, wait. There we go. Like, if everything's a form of life, because like nothing can exist without atoms. So like, what if there's like a threshold?
What if like it's like a literal state that like something exists in? Like time.
So, well, if we're talking about time having matter, that would imply that like the Big Bang was the equivalent of like, so if time had matter, that would imply that the Big Bang was the equivalent of a kitchen timer being set for us. The Big Bang being when like the thing was fully cocked to how they wanted it, to how much time. So if time was a physical object, which this is how I think 4D beings see time. I think that they see time more like sand, but like it probably looks like a line to them as well. If not like how, you know how we see those fungus, the live like living mold that we saw, the slime mold.
Yeah, slime mold.
I feel like that's how 4D beings see our world. Like, it's a timeline of branching out stuff like a slime mold. I feel like that's how they look at, like, timelines and shit. Because if 4D beings can see time and fuck with it, if it's a slime mold, like, something in, you know, kind of like that, in parallel to it, I think that's how the universe works.
In like a 4D perspective?
Yeah, like in like a 4D perspective, obviously like it's going out in all directions. Yeah. But like I feel like the Big Bang is where it all starts from. And it's like a slime mold that's kind of growing outwards in a 3D way. So like right from where it goes, from the center, it starts opening up like a giant, like a dandelion almost. But it just never stops growing with this stuff. And it keeps branching off of it, making bigger and bigger.
Yo, wait. If it expands like slime mold, wouldn't that mean that, like, technically speaking, the rate of expansion is like exponential?
Yeah. But here's the thing though, I feel like the Big Bang for here, I think that was just one of a Big Bang.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Not like simultaneous Big Bangs at once. What if our Big Bang was two black holes hitting one another that were just fucking massive? Like, we're talking galaxy-wide black holes.
Here's my take, right? You know about quantum fluctuations?
No. Also no to that as well.
Oh, okay. So basically, quantum fluctuations are just like random blips of virtual particles that like become created like pairs, and they smash together in like this really quick fashion. But my take is that like there was just coincidentally just like a lot of virtual particles that assembled in one place and then caused there to be a huge explosion. So it wasn't.
I'm gonna pretend that I know what any of that fucking means.
Yeah. Okay, think about it this way, right? The Big Bang was an accumulation of tiny Big Bangs.
Yeah. Okay. I see where you're going.
So it's like, I think that the Big Bang is consistently having smaller and smaller Big Bangs in like this cohesive pattern that was caused by a larger Big Bang.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What I think is that you know how like when you cock the hammer to a musket and you let that flint hit it,
Yeah.
and it just sparks and ignites it.
Yeah.
My theory is that a supernova or like some sort of like gravitational well had occurred.
Yeah.
And there were two or multiple black holes that were in the vicinity that were of like the interstellar black hole level black holes. You know what I mean? You know, I'm talking like Betelgeuse sized, if not bigger. My theory is that multiple of those, because if we're thinking that black holes are like a gravity well that like compresses everything that goes into it, what would happen if two of those things hit one another? And you have these two forces that are pulling apart as well. So like those black holes are pulling apart from one another. I think what happened is the black holes were like basically neck and neck. Like pretty much like a 1 in something quasi sextillions of a chance of happening.
Yeah.
But what if the Big Bang was two black holes tearing each other apart and snapping apart like a fucking elastic, causing all the matter that's been crushed into one point in time in space to then just fucking rip asunder?
It's kind of how like mirrors work in a sense.
No. Well, maybe. But like, think of it like it's something that happens so infrequently that the exponential rate of the universe, we're not the only Big Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, like other Big Bangs are happening, but they're like quintillions of years between them. Like enough that any civilization that has gained sentience in one of those is long dead, gone. But the reason why we can't figure it out is because our universe is its own galaxy in a universe of other galaxies to that extent. You know what I mean? Alternate timelines are just other galaxies. No. like
we
we have
different bodies of like Big Bangs.
Yeah, different bodies of Big Bangs, but we're so far apart from one another that like not even a wormhole would be able to reach it. Like, imagine being so far away from a point in time that you can't fold reality towards there.
Because it's just not enough paper.
No. Like with a wormhole.
I mean, like fabric of like, you know.
Fuck you, kill yourself. But like, if we're talking about that, wormholes shouldn't work around any form of black hole.
Well, actually, let me blow your mind a little bit about black holes.
Let's. If it's a fold in time, black holes bend time.
Yes.
So wormholes would just tear right apart. It'd be like a condom in a really, really experienced hooker.
Okay, so think about it this way, right? We cannot make black holes out of things that are not black holes. Therefore, this is like a logical
fallacy.
Yeah. So if we can make black holes out of things that are already black holes, then we can make tiny black holes into larger black holes.
So here's what I'm thinking.
So wait.
Okay,
all right. So if we can like add this sort of benefactor of like tiny black holes making larger black holes, and then we take the instance of like mass curving.
Well, my question is, how would you get the black holes to begin with?
I'm saying that matter is black holes with the singularity of electrons.
What if it is, instead of that, antimatter is just microbial black holes that are popping in and out and bending reality to make the material disappear then reappear because it's so weak that it just can't hold it?
Yeah, but it's like so small that basically there's like, it's like whenever you make a puddle, whenever you have a puddle.
Yeah, like you mean that really microscopic thin layer of a puddle that just disappears in the sun a little bit?
Well, not just that, but what's it called? Whenever you drop a droplet into a puddle.
Oh, the ripple. Right.
Yeah, there's a large ripple, but it disperses, right? It doesn't matter how small the droplet is; it's always going to make a larger ripple than what was implicated in the first place. So, if we take that concept, right, and then we convert it into black holes, there's a ripple which exists for the black hole that was like caused by some sort of like
a different
radiation.
Catalyst.
Yeah, like radiation or something. So
what if the first black hole was because? So here's a theory. We know that planets can consist of like so many fucking elements, right?
Yeah.
What if two planets were so magnetized with their like ionospheres that they became the polarities of one another, and what ended up happening is they were in a dual star system? Because our universe is very different from most other galaxies. I think people really misunderstand how little of a chance of our galaxy really is because we are an anomaly. Most star systems have two stars. Ours only has one. That is a very, very odd thing to happen. That is not something that normally happens, because you have the debris from most of the nova, the cloud clusters. The nebulas, the star nebulas for those areas. You have a handful of them going off at once, which implicates that our universe, most like this galaxy, is that our sun had a miniature one that either died out, and my theory is that Jupiter is what happened to this. Well, not Jupiter. I'm sorry. That shouldn't. No, because that wouldn't work. Never mind. Or, well, Jupiter just didn't ignite. Because Jupiter has a very high gravity. Like, we know that.
It also has a lot of hydrogen.
Yeah, that thing is about ready to pop. Like, if you're just you put in one match in there, all of a sudden, just goes fucking supernova. Destroys half the galaxy, and all you hear from the scientists is, oops. Just, Sir, you might want to get some real estate in the Antarctic. The polar bears aren't going to have a place to live anymore.
They're all gone.
They're all gone now, sir. What happened? Jupiter is now a second sun.
Jupiter's fucking sun, bro. I
We
don't know
the
what
sun got a
planet.
sibling. Mazel tov. This sun was promised to us 3,000 years ago by Jesus of Bethlehem.
Yeah.
Mary, mother of Joseph. Dun, 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 dun. Just fucking, you have just the fucking stereotypical Jews rubbing their hands together, just fucking. We have another solar panel scheme that we can do with a multi-level marketing thing.
Yo, dude.
We should start an MLM.
I mean,
Actually, no, we're not. For the record, we are not condoning nor implicating that we are starting an MLM.
This is just a joke.
This is a satirical simulation that we are running in a think tank like way.
Dude, I have such a large qualm with like fucking solar panels and shit. And we could literally crank up the efficiency so fucking high if we just start stacking like what's it called? Like gradually more less and less piezoelectric what's it called? What's it called?
Industrialization. Oh, okay.
On top of each other, because when you stack shit on top of each other, then the electric currents from the UV rays basically get converted gradually in a gradient towards the fucking copper where it can be collected, right? But what we're doing right now is we have like 2 fucking layers and then like a dye on top, like dyes and like color dyes.
Yeah, for the silicon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fuck. It's like,
I honestly think, well, the problem is that we can't go fully solar because solar panels take heat and they generate heat as well. With the amount of solar panels that we would need in order to power the whole world with it, it would raise the temperature of the Earth around, I think it's like 3 degrees Celsius.
You think so?
Now, it would make it like 12 degrees. It would make it actually significantly hotter and make the polar caps melting a guaranteed within like a few years.
Well, what if we have an insulative layer that converts the heat into electricity too?
I think what you're saying is a great point, but I do believe that if that's the case, so if we're doing that idea for the solar panels, you're going to want to remember that we're going to need to employ other people, because if we go full solar and then it's just maintenance technicians and stuff like that, you're going to have a much weaker economy going forward, which is going to make it harder to then embrace solar, because people will be so displaced from their jobs, it will cause an economic crash. So it's like how we had those 13,000 layoffs by like fucking Amazon.
Yeah.
So if you were to do that with the solar panels, it would have a really bad impact. But what could be done is having solar panels
That are worse and then slowly, gradually.
No.
Okay.
In conjunction with other forms of power generation, such as like windmills, fucking wave farms, geothermal.
Ooh, I have so many ideas for these, bro. You have no clue.
Dude, so what I want to do is I would actually enjoy seeing the Point Nemo farmed for electricity. Because Point Nemo is like, actually no, by the time it would get back to mainland, the electricity would probably be dead by then.
What is Point Nemo?
Point Nemo is the farthest place from any other point on planet Earth that's land. It is literally farther to get to another continent than it is to get to the moon.
The fuck?
That is how far it is, because the moon is closer. So if you go to the center of Point Nemo, going, I think it's straight up to, no, it's the ISS.
Oh, okay.
The ISS would be the
sounds a lot
closest thing to you than a fucking other country.
Yeah.
That is how far Point Nemo is from everywhere else. If you go there, no one is coming for you. Like, ever. You're fucked if you're caught out there and your engine fucking dies. But what my theory is, what would happen if we made a massive wave farm? Mm-hmm. I'm talking we go to the most, like, the roughest terrained area on planet Earth. Like, where the gnarliest storms happen. Like a place that's known for, like, tsunamis or fucking hurricanes. Not hurricanes, but, like, other stuff like that.
Yeah, just really harsh storms or whatever.
We make macro wave farms. I'm talking, like, multi-level ones that pull down to the bottom of it. Like, where, like, the waves normally go to the lowest point. Mm-hmm. So it's always pushing down there. But then it's also going up as well. Because the massive displacement of water. Yep. But we have it be, like, fucking industrial chains of, like, tungsten and stuff. But we have it so the gears are so massive that the gear ratio becomes, like, fucking insane amounts of electricity.
Dude. I can actually... Dude, when we get home, bro, I can start building this shit. Because we have the 3D printer now. So we can make really good simulations off of just, like, pushing...
Concepts like this, yeah. But, like, the whole point of thinking about it like that, if you have these macro wave farms, you can then build in a solar panel on the top of it to have that be the spark plug.
And then we can add helium balloons that have fucking turbines on the ends of it. So that
No. Now we're getting too fanciful. No. But from a standpoint of this, you got to remember from a maintenance standpoint, okay? Like, you're dreaming big, I'm dreaming realistically. All right. Like, there are two different levels. You're on the fucking, I want to do this and that. No, but if we're gonna do something like that, it should have a singular solar panel on it, where water hits it the most. So that way it cleans itself off, all that. Okay.
Okay.
And then what it does is that solar panel is the spark plug for the entire unit. If it senses that there has been no electricity running through anything in like 24 hours, it hits the start engine automatically. It automatically tries to kickstart the unit to get it to move again. And it cycles at every 24 hours, and it'll try it again within quick succession. And that would just be to start up any facility power.
Well, we could do it like this too.
This is just from a cost-effective standpoint. We're not looking at it from like a trying to make it be in production standpoint. We're saying from a conceptual, what base features do we want it to have to ensure its functionality?
Yep.
Because every part of these would have to be handmade and hand-tooled by a licensed professional in order to keep the economy going.
Yep.
But we'd have to also offer to other people in these companies that are leaving because of the move from oil to other stuff. We would have to probably purchase these oil rigs and take the crews and offer them training. So here's what we'd have to do. You have to uproot everything. We'd have to offer the oil workers training, housing, competitive income, and all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. So what I recommend is we see if we can make fiber optics into the next copper wiring.
Well, funny you should say that, because I'm actually going to school for that.
Fuck yeah. But imagine if we did that and mixed quartz in, since quartz is a lot more conductive.
Yes, it's also piezoelectric,
mm-hmm.
as well as...
But think of that. The amount of quartz and glass that we have, so much more than copper.
So much more.
And so imagine taking that form that we have and then routing it into a way that it's able to be turned into electricity. What you could do is you could then make it so that way you could take these jobs for the workers that were there before, give them training to how to properly recycle this into new filament for it, because if it's glass and quartz, that's just two materials that we have that we just have to make sure that it gets recycled properly, that it can be reused. Because glass is just sand and quartz. So there's nothing to worry about at that point. And then you have finally the whole laying the cables down on the water.
Actually, we don't even need to do that.
Well, here's the thing.
Light. If it's light.
No, we have to remember that we're also taking into consideration the economy. Because if we don't do that, what would happen is we would be hated by the public because people wouldn't have their jobs anymore.
No. We wouldn't be hated by the public. We would be hated by the monopolies. Because the monopolies are the ones who are trying to offer people jobs.
Well, yeah, but you have to remember from a standpoint, if we are to make the world a better place, we have to lie sometimes. There's that, like, we're saying it's for the monopolies to help them, but then...
I get what you mean. We can't move too quickly because...
Yeah, if the competition would be very skeptical about whatever was happening. But if you think about it like that, we'd have to offer them, well, or we could try making it into an experiment.
See, I want to privatize this, like, these ideas first,
Well,
and then run like a microcosm of what could go wrong into leading it into like a revolution.
Okay, see, for me right now, what I'm thinking about is how could I make this work with the people part of it?
Yeah.
You're the technician part. You're obviously the guy who's doing all the tech stuff. But I'm the guy who's trying to be the face.
Okay.
So, like, if we're talking something like that, like, I know that I'm a good salesman.
Yep.
So all I'd have to tell people is, look, if you have these units that you're laying these down, you're able to then privatize your own electric generation. There you go. You got some power right there. You also got an oil rig now that can be turned into a micronation. Imagine taking multiple oil rigs, putting them together, and making a modular home system for us to use as an experiment to see if we can make a perfect utopia.
Ooh, this is getting into... Ooh, my ethics say that we probably shouldn't be taking...
No.
lives and just...
No. Like, we offer it. We say, look, if you work for us, you're in here. It's its own micro-government as an experiment. Like, we come out openly and say, look, this is an experiment. Mm-hmm. So we give everyone consent to leave whenever the fuck they want. Their ticket will be paid for. They can leave. They can come and go as they please. But if they choose to leave, whatever reason they chose to leave is put on the chopping block, in theory. So imagine a world where if stuff like that happened, but here's the thing, the public could then vote to undo it or redo it.
Like a perfect democracy?
Yeah, like a perfect democracy where everyone, like, but it's a democracy where if you leave,
there are no repercussions.
No. If you leave the democracy looks at what you did, what happened to you to make you want to leave it. And then that problem is either shot in the back of the head and dealt with instantly, or the people say, no, this was the person's fault, that what they did, or they just say, look, they didn't do anything. They just didn't like it here. And they just leave the rules.
So it's like a recursive societal norm.
To try to question the laws and be like, okay, what do we want to do? Do we want to amend this? Do we want to do this? Everyone goes to the center area. There'll be an offshore privatized group handling all the votes. And then what ends up happening is we then run that whole experiment and see what would happen. Because I'm either of the mindset of it will either go very well, but here's the thing though, we have to make sure that everyone that is on board it is from a different political ideology. Because here's the thing, if it's just a group of people that think alike, Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not right anyway. Not right, but the experiment will be tainted.
Because the control group is,
Bias, yes. So we would have to get people from everywhere, and what we would have to do is we'd have to air out the dirty laundry of every single person's like political background.
Mhm.
And we'd say, look, everyone here is stuck with one another. You all live here. You're being paid to live here. You're being paid to be part of this. So you got to get along. You can't just stay in your unit. After a while, it'll cut power there and say, look, nope, go socialize. Socialization time. So that way no one can try to hide from like not socializing. You know what I mean? So then you'd have that point of people needing to have discussions and needing to decide on laws.
What if we add incentives instead of adding punishment?
Oh, no. So, like, I'm just saying that, like, power would go out there. It wouldn't be, like, a punishment. It would just be like, hey, guys, come on. This is your, like, kind of like a daily, like, no screen time timer. So it's not a punishment. It's just everyone is subjected to this at the same time.
Okay.
So everyone's power cut at a certain time. Like, signals are turned off in this facilities for, like, the people there for, like, a half an hour to an hour. Maybe 2 hours. And then, because like with you and I, when we actually leave the room, we socialize and we're there for like hours.
Yep.
So my theory is that would happen and you would be incentivized to hang around the other individuals because it would give you like a $5 if like it's a really bad argument or if it's a really good argument. That way people can't say like, ooh, if we have constant arguments, we get paid more. Or, ooh, if we're really nice to one another, we get paid more. It would be like a random incentive. So, like, you know when I'm in that cosmonaut experiment, when they went with the dogs, Pavlov, the Pavlovian response?
Yep.
That whole thing of the ding for your paycheck would, like, you'd get notice. Everyone would get a notice when somebody got a pay. Like a little bonus, like $1. Like a little tip worth. And not current 2026 tips. I'm talking like 2008 tips. Like $2. But everyone would know when somebody got a tip for good behavior.
What if we did like a karma system based on everyone else's behavior?
Reddit mod moment.
No.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, you're gonna give me my upvotes for the day, please, guys. I need my upvotes.
Yeah, basically an upvote system. Like people.
Nope, because that could be rigged. That could be rigged by the people voting for one another. And then by that point, if it's somebody who has a lot of power, then that could be then reinforced and re-incentivized. You can't use that. It has to be random incentives from a third party. That is not part of the company.
But like if we do that, then that kind of bleeds the line into like privacy violations.
Well, here's the thing though, is that it's all in the DMCA. Not the DMCA, is the contracts.
Yeah, but if people know they're
like,
being watched, then they're gonna react to like.
No. It's just saying that it's this. They're not told that they're being watched.
That's even worse, bro.
No. Like, it's just said like, oh, like security system. It's just a security system. When a security guard who's watching the facilities, that's what they normally have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the security guard calling the bonuses. But the security guard also has a guy on top of him that tells him if he's fucking around. And that would just be the HR manager.
Okay.
So the HR manager would be in charge of the security guy. Because if we think about it from a legal perspective standpoint, an HR person who knows that they're the persons that work with the legal team, and if the legal team finds out the HR person is fucking somebody over because they're thinking that they're giving good reinforcement when they're not, that's a very quick way to respond to any form of financial fuckery. Because you have the lawyers that are right above the experimentees.
But what if they unionize?
That's fine. We'll let them unionize.
Okay.
Look, if you fight a union, what happens is they get more attention. And then they get more bold. So if you tell the union, yeah, sure, go on, have a seat. We'll talk to you like adults. Then you're able to talk them down from their demands a little bit lower.
What if we have an inside man?
No. That's union breaking, which would cause us to that would violate actually union protection acts in America. No, because if you do that and they find out, then you get put on a ban for importing and exporting things.
No, I mean, like, we have someone who agrees to become a voice for the union.
That is union breaking.
Oh, damn it.
You cannot have a company internal inside a union because local union representatives are not part of the company. They're for the workers in the company. Because if any sort of company is found within a union, then it's heavily implicated that they are trying to keep the workers down. So it would be much easier and much easier PR to say, "Yep, come on, have a seat at the table." It would be much easier, and down the line, it would be financially better because then union backers would come to us. Because if a local union representative saw that a company just said, "Hey, yeah, you guys have a union, that's those guys," and so imagine a union, like a local union, finding out that a company, day one, told everybody, "You're part of a union. Go let the union representatives know that we will help them financially, however they want." Now, if you're looking at that from a job security standpoint, most Americans right now are afraid of job insecurity. That's like the biggest fear currently. And it is with that fact, like, because that's what unions, they protect job security primarily. Workers' rights, OSHA, all that bullshit. So if we tell the union guys, "Hey, we're here for you. We're going to help you. If you need us, call us. We'll help fund your stuff. You guys protect us and keep recommending us. You guys come to us first for any power that you want done. You come to us if you need something. We give them heavy discounts for all of our products, around a 25% discount for everything that is a normal-sized object. And for heavy machinery, we go 50% off.
I say
75.
I say, right, we say 15% off, but we're going to be nice to you because of the fact that you're part of the union. We'll give you an extra 10%, and that'll trick them to,
No. This isn't any form of trickery. This is to get unions in our back pocket. Because you have to think of it this way. Unions currently are at the most threat from big corporations. And if a union found out that a big corporation was giving them rights and trying to give them protection so that way they had, financial job security, they had health insurance and all that, do you really think that they would pass up the opportunity to get a backer for them like that for financial and then be offered a heavy discount on equipment for whatever they need? Do you think a union would try to pass up that opportunity?
Definitely not.
Exactly. So the point is that you just tell the unions, "Look, you recommend our products, we financially back you, we have our own union, and we'll offer you jobs to help build stuff and give it out to, say, construction workers, or say, give it out to, I don't know, veterans associations to help them build stuff like that. So that way we can then also count our place as a nonprofit. So, well, not nonprofit, like it would have a nonprofit branch.
Yeah.
So it would be under a different company, LLC, but it would also count as its own way to be like, okay, yeah, this facility is not for any tax reasons. This is just for a kids with cancer shit or AIDS research, whatever.
Okay.
That way we have those facilities on backup. So we can store all of our housing, have all of our storage there.
Mm-hmm.
But above that, we'll have like 2 stories worth of like medical aid, food and stuff like that. And that would be like the go-to kind of way to be like, look, like if any worker, and so here's the thing, the big thing that I would want for this place, if somebody is hurt, the doctor is given full, whatever happens to the patient, the doctor is 100% responsible, regardless of what happens. If somebody dies, what?
We definitely need to train our doctors on like a lot more than the books, bro.
Dude, definitely. But here's the thing, though, is that the doctors in this facility would be 100% responsible for anything that happened to you.
Okay.
So if you died, that would be a criminal case of murder if they were knowingly turning up your dosages. So every doctor's visit would have to be recorded with an audio tape. That way it's not visual, but also it's very hard to copy it. Because we wouldn't have like external software there. It would be marketed as an experiment when you're being hired. So that way no one could say, "Oh no, I didn't know." But the whole point would be to make sure that people understood the situation and were given the chance to do what they think would be right in a society.
See, I want to completely undercut like the doctor part because I don't trust doctors.
Well,
I do not.
Okay, so
I want to be able to build very specific metallic structures that virtually work as nanobots, and because of the fact that
well, we're saying that if we're looking at the current technological market and we're looking at the current kind of way to make it done.
No, we can do this now. We just need very specific chemical acids, very specific acids, and then we just need...
Well, then what if there was a public sector in there that allowed like a public area, like a science division, where anyone could go in, anyone could use the resources to make things that they think that the community needs. So what we would do is we'd have it so that way every person in the community would be given a job, and what would happen is they would come in, they'd say what they're good at, and if they wanted to work in that area, and we ask them, what are you good at? We're going to have you do that.
I say we put them through tests.
Well, no. Here's the thing, though. Even if we put them through tests, if they don't like what they're doing for a job, why would they improve?
No. Of course we want to know what they want to do as a job, but we put them through a test to find out how we can qualify them for that job.
Okay, I see where you're going at. I see where you're going at.
We work them through apprenticeships into whatever they need to, or if they already qualify for it anyways, then we have them do the job.
I say what we do is we have it be, because we're going very pro-union.
Yep.
We have the on-site trainees train them.
Okay.
On the job, you have a certain amount of hours in a VR simulation to know what you're doing first. Or just watch what's going on. So that way you're going with all the OSHA tapes and all that bullshit. And then you have all that done, and then you're given your first few tasks. The first day, you're asked if you want somebody to show you around and do the stuff that you've been assigned to, that you can watch what you do on a video a few times if you need to, whenever you want to. And you're in, what you do for your job is given to you in a pamphlet, and it shows what your job can entail, and there'll be a board that says what needs to be done that day at your job. You complete your job's assignments, and after all the stuff that you get done to make sure that it's all running properly, if you get it done and it's high quality and it's the amount of time between repairs for a unit where you're at would determine, here's the thing though, it would determine how much you get paid. So you're by the hour checks. If you're, say, in charge of keeping the 3D printers online, or keeping on the terminals, and say they haven't gone down in 3 years. Imagine getting a 3% increase pay.
So you're getting a partial commission for every single time that you get something, right?
You're getting a partial commission, like a permanent partial commission increase.
Permanent partial commission.
Yeah, so if you say like all of the stuff that you maintain has not broken down in the last 4 years of you working there, like a major thing that you're in charge of, you are like, and it's kept in complete isolation, and you are able to prove that you can remake it again and again, what's done is that you are then given bonuses every single year that stack. So like that, like you get an additional $3, $2 every year to your paycheck number for how much you do. And then when you die, your family is given a 50% cut on all their taxes for the rest of their life if you donate all your money back to the community to put into like nonprofits and stuff. Imagine being able to make it so that way your kids only had to spend half the money that you have to now on stuff. But you can't leave them with any inheritance.
No?
Well, you can leave like objects and stuff behind, but no financial inheritance. And whatever you died having, you like, nothing of great financial gain can really be kept. But like stuff like giant things of rubies or gold, obviously you wouldn't have that on a ship to begin with. So if you had a family on there with you, because this would be its own society.
Yeah.
That was an entire like kind of like perfect democratic form of company. Think of it like that.
Okay.
A self-sustaining company that is completely independent of any like national government. And the job of this company is to try to find a way to make it so that way everyone gets along in this one area. I think it could be done. The problem is though, we have then that one fucking massive curveball. That one thing that no one can control. Religion.
Ooh, that might inspire bad actors, true.
Because we would have to be very selective with what religions we let in. Because if it's the Muslim religion, they're going to try to convert everybody. If it's the Mormons, they're going to try to convert everybody. We're not letting Scientology in fucking ever. Those they'd be fucking drooling because like the fucking L. Ron Hubbard's whatever the fuck his boat's name was. They'd be like, oh my god, look at it, it's for Xenu. Just, Xenu squid yet. That'd be all you'd hear. And then finally you'd have this entirety of just, like the Catholics, like the hardcore Catholics, the ones I can like know. But if you're talking like your standard conservative household, like, like the dad who was like the God-fearing, I'm putting steak and potatoes on my son's on my table at night. What?
You stopped that dit.
Dit. I just fucking take out my cock. Just fucking.
Here's your protein for the day.
I work hard at my job to get hard to feed my children's. Now fucking open up and that injects off in your fucking mouth.
You said you wanted some mayo.
Just out of nowhere. But for real though, yeah. Like those fucking like classic conservative household of like You know, God put me here to put dinner on this here table to make sure my family is nice. I don't care what you believe in as long as you're a upstanding member of society. People like with those religions can come in. I know people will scream like religious discrimination, but at the end of the day, the government cannot impede on the free market.
No, definitely not.
So we'd have ourselves registered as a U.S. company.
Okay.
So that we can get all that done. So then, we then just say, okay. We say that we're hiring from all races, and we just fucking don't. And in religious place. Alrighty. We hope you enjoyed the fucking episode. Oh my god, it's 50 minutes we were sitting here for. Yo, dude, I think we spent longer sitting with our fucking dicks in our hands. Alright, let's get the fuck back home.